I didn't know who the hell was pulling in. These fools rented that Home Depot truck to bring all their stuff over here. Amazing. I've never seen that before. Hilarious. What is up, Sideways fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are at the shop. I know I haven't posted in a long time, but this video is going to be definitely one that everybody's going to want to watch. We have two cars racing to about 1,000 horsepower, maybe even over 1,000 horsepower. Our buddy Q pulled up, like you'll see in the beginning of the video, with the Home Depot truck with everything all loaded up for us to just go ahead and go ham and get it done. I am working here by myself now, so the homies have been coming by and kind of helping get everything finished up. So let me go ahead and show you what we're working on right now. Got a lot of stuff to do on the Is300. The Is300 gold number was probably somewhere around 1,200 horsepower. The Mark IV Supra, which is Eddie's car over here, the red one, the whole engine has come out. You can see his OEM stock engine right here, from his old entire setup. Car made like 760, I believe is what it made on the dyno. I'll link some videos in that. I'll link all of Q's videos as well from his Is300, from all the old builds and everything too, getting to the point of where we're at now. Both motors are fully built. I'll run over the whole entire setup with you guys right now, what we're doing, what we're gonna get done, and hopefully in the next couple of days I'll be getting both these cars started. Well, that was a good call. He brought all his stuff too, so that's badass. It's a good idea, Q.
I even brought you a present, bro. Look at this.
What's that?
Trophy for you.
A trophy, huh? Okay. So real quick, let me just show you guys what's up. This is a 2JZ GTE VVTi motor, blocks fully built, with, I don't know what pistons and rods he used. What'd you put in the block, Q?
So it's running, the pistons are the Brian Crower rods, the 625 rods, and then the actual pistons are the JE Ultra Light.
And what's the compression ratio did you do?
9.5 to 1.
9.5 to 1. Okay, so a little bit different. He had one of the other buddy shops in Texas go ahead and build a motor for him. We went ahead and had the head fully done. He is running the GSC billet cams in this head. It's got shimless buckets, all the other crazy stuff that we're going to be doing to the head, so the head can rev out to like 12,000 RPM. Way more aggressive build because this car is more of a drag car. He has drag radials for it. The suspension's fully built. There's a whole bunch of stuff on this online of us building it. And we're going to be changing fuel system up. You can see the T56 Magnum trans in there still from last time. Running over everything. He's went ahead and put the Powerhouse Racing beautiful pulleys on this thing. He went ahead and did the upgraded alternator, ATI fluid dampener, and then you got all the new classy stuff in here with the Powerhouse Racing stuff. A lot of PHR pretty parts on this. Got the brand new Powerhouse Racing mount, which is kind of cool because it doesn't look like it has a rubber insulator, so not as much vibration. He has a McLeod twin plate that was on this before that we're going to be running again. He had everything powder coated beautifully. He has this gorgeous intake manifold that's somewhere in the truck. I'll have to go over there and check it out. You can see he has already set up the bell housing with the new dowels from Granite Racing to get everything all lined up to have nothing on the input shaft being all messed up. There's the clutch kit in there, a bunch of other small things. The turbo's in there too. We'll have to go over there and check all that stuff out too. But basically over here, what we're dealing with on this thing, this is the Powerhouse Racing twin wastegate T4 manifold. It was a pain in the ass to get on. They actually had already all set it up and trimmed the studs on the bottom. I'll go over there and show you guys right now what was done, because it was just a huge mess of fuckery to have to get it to where it is. But basically what had to happen is the bottom of this manifold down here is slotted. So the manifold will come down and slide in to the studs. And the only way you can get this back bolt in is by pulling the stud out, putting a flat bolt that has no washer on it. And you have to actually screw it into the head, slide the manifold down, and then put every single stud back in. So it was a pain in the butt. Took us an extra hour or two just to figure out all the stuff that we needed to get it done. They had a double nut on. We didn't have the right tool for this, and it's just this huge mess. But you can see it's pretty cool. They have the twin wastegate for 44 mils coming out. He does have a huge, ginormous turbo that we're going to be running on this thing to get him to probably above the number we're going to be getting on Eddie's car. I actually have already finished Eddie's car. So this car was all chrome and like chrome setup in here before with no PHR or anything. We went ahead and got their cooling panel, their showpiece right here. Went ahead and got the Powerhouse Racing overflow tank for the Mark IV Supra. Got the Powerhouse Racing catch can set up for right-hand drive. I made the custom lines myself. Comp went ahead and hooked us up and built us a fully custom turbo for this one. I believe it's like a 72, 78. They told us to run a 1.0 AR twin scroll rear housing based on kind of what we're using, because they didn't make anything bigger than that in open scroll. I guess we'll see how that works. The head is now fully built. We have Brian Crower Stage 3 Plus cams, so I believe it's like close to like a 280 size cam that's in there. We put dual valve springs and retainers from Brian Crower in it. And everything pretty much head-wise has still been in kind of stock form, so not anything crazy overkill, kind of like how Q's was. We're not planning on really revving the engine past probably like, you know, 8,000, 9,000 RPM. Went ahead and got him a new intake manifold from Supra store to go ahead and have it be all black, went with the satin look for everything. The block is fully built. It has CP 10-to-1 pistons. You went ahead and did the Manly H-Tough rod, and then it's been line honed with Real Street main caps, and pretty much just a real simple, you know, fully rebuilt setup. I've redone all the fuel lines. We went ahead and ran the Powerhouse Racing ABS delete kit to make everything look nice and pretty, get into some braided lines. I was able to pretty much make it to where his setup that came out of the car plugged basically all back in. We were able to utilize the whole Apex exhaust, all the 3-inch downpipe setup. Had it, you know, turbo is basically in the same exact position. I did make new lines for everything because I don't want to deal with that. I was able to reuse the intercooler piping on both sides because it was very similar. So, I mean, it went back together really, really easily in his. We're also running on both engines. Our buddy Rocky from FMS, his 2150cc injectors. It is a beautiful injector. Idle's great on pump gas. Idle's great on E85. It's better than the 2200 that we've been using forever besides that. If you don't know much about this car, this is a Euro spec twin turbo 6-speed Supra. And it's pretty much all OEM. Back here, we do have a PHR hanger back here that was running twin pumps before. We're going to be possibly running 3 pumps if we're going to need it. But I mean, she's a beauty. Can't wait for us to be on the dyno with this thing too. The goal number on the car for this one is 1,000. We'll probably, even after 1,000, even dial it back for him just so that he can have it be okay for the street. Because if, as you can see in the rear, he's still on a street tire. We're probably gonna need to get some drag radials for that, because I mean, I don't think it's really gonna hook for that, but we are gonna either incorporate the BTI for his trim pot, or we'll put in an AEM trim pot so that he can actually turn it down on the fly or whatever he wants to do. So I'm a little iffy about the turbo, because for 1,000 horsepower, you'd assume a way bigger turbo. I do like how everything came out. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that, but she is really, really pretty. Everything's got that nice black and red satin look for the whole entire thing. We also got him the shock tower tops from Powerhouse Racing, so it should tie everything in really, really good. I think that he will like this look a little bit better. It's a little bit more sleeper, and really overall just kind of makes the car look really pretty. So we're going to be starting his up probably next week. Hopefully Q and Noah and all of us will be able to get this thing put together and in the car at the same time. He's going to have a lot of other issues for just things that aren't really ready to go. As far as his setup,
I didn't listen.
Yeah, he bought a bunch of stuff that I don't really know about. Let's go ahead and go in the truck and see what
Manny's right there.
oh, okay. He got this really, really crazy intake manifold that was like, I guess it was like $6,000, he was saying. Looks like the Plasman. You can see he has like the Vangean style hookup for the intercooler. You might be able to run a hose clamp on it too, I don't know. Universal throttle, or sorry, TPS. The weird thing about this that I didn't really like, that were a couple things. Who did you order this from, Q?
That's from Custom Plenum Designs.
Okay.
Australia.
Okay, so really cool because it's in Kevlar and it's anodized. And which is kind of cool too, they have a nitrous hookup on every single runner, which is really cool. But if you look at it, the throttle cable hookup is underneath and the AC lines up right here, and it literally almost touches. There's only one fitting in the whole entire manifold, which is kind of like, what the fuck? They should have had multiple ports here for, you know, your fuel pressure regulator, your blow-off valve, your map sensor. They should have had some 1/8 MPT ports somewhere. There's no idler control valve hookup on the bottom of this. You're gonna have to run it external if you're gonna do that. If you need to, we don't usually do it. This is really pretty. I like the throttle body, that's nice. I would have rather had a Toyota TPS on it than this Universal that we have no idea where they bought it or where to get it or whatever. The fuel rail is done pretty nicely. We'll see what the fitting and the clearance is and kind of how everything lines up. It's kind of weird how the injector comes up like a stock intake manifold. The other thing I kind of don't like about this either, for the money, I mean, for $6,000, you'd expect it would have a little bit more to it than this, but it's running a stock intake manifold gasket, whereas even our Superstar ones, the deep motor ones, the Plasma ones are all gonna have that CNC O-ring for Vite and O-ring the whole way through, where you never need to really worry about it ever again. You can just get a new O-ring. They're saying this manifold is gonna clear on the AC, that a lot of people have been having it work fine, but looking at how it kind of lays out, I'm still gonna think and say that he's probably gonna have an issue with the AC clearing. I know a lot of people ask about that stuff in the ISs. I haven't personally been able to make it work where it's happy. I mean, you're gonna have to basically hammer these lines almost flat And then on this, we're gonna have to trim and cut everything. I made him a brand new harness. He went and got the Tell Me Bond, or you can say induction performance, whole entire bracket for the top of the motor up here to go to the IGN1 ignition on the top of it and everything too. We are gonna have to modify a bunch of things too, like, you know, the way he did his feed line, a couple of the other things. You need to put the Powerhouse Racing fitting in here, probably go A end of the reservoir, but we're trying to keep everything that chrome or black and chrome or white and blue kind of look for this. Let's kind of go ahead and go on the truck still. That's the old manifold. We gotta go twin wastegates. Really cool that they freaking pulled up kind of like all like gangster like that. So this is the turbo. This is the Pulsar turbo that our buddy Mason and a couple of other guys recommended to him to get. It is ginormous. She's huge, and it's like got like a Garrett wheel in it. It spins freaking badass. So not gonna run this line. This thing looks like freaking garbage. So we're gonna get rid of that. I guess they have like a... we're not running this intake manifold gasket. If they're gonna think we're gonna run a thermal gasket, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I guess that was it in here. I don't even know I really kind of came in here. Kind of cool to have like all the tools in the truck and everything, but let's go ahead and get out of here. Okay guys, so twin plates in and together. You pull the index plate off. It's still on the bell housing.
Got it.
Went ahead and got everything ready to go. Everything's off that needs to be off. Put the wastegates on, manifold all tightened down. So we're gonna get her in the car, and it'll be pretty cool because we'll be able to have two really badass cars getting built right now at the same time. Another late night. Working on our buddy Eddie's 1,000 horsepower Supra we're building over here. Got a bunch of button up to do on this thing tonight. Get it ready to start up. Let's go. I'm gonna dry crank it so I can prime the oil pump. Fully built motor, just fired up. I'll idle her at $2,000 for a few minutes to get everything working. See how it goes right now. Guys, so another day over here, got a whole bunch of stuff done. Q and Noah have been coming over at night and getting a bunch of stuff finished up just to get us kind of moving on this thing and to help out. So let me kind of show you where we're at right now. Got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things I've already done. I'm gonna run you through it and let you know why we're doing it and how we're doing it. Hopefully we can get this car started tonight or tomorrow morning. That'd be super, super awesome. But let's jump into it right now. So we're running one of my custom harnesses again, dual ECU. Running the factory ECU here, all plugged in for the 01. That's gonna go through the firewall. We're gonna put both ECUs in the glove box like we typically do. I will run over a lot of these things for the motor again. You can see the coil wires are coming up and out. We have the Induction Performance quick disconnect setup where we're gonna be putting in these studs that are up there are gonna go in the head over here, and it's gonna just quickly pop down and pop on there and be good to go. Since this manifold does have a lot of weird stuff that I don't really like about it. Where the throttle cable hooks up, it is touching the AC line here. We've had to kind of massage that out of the way, move a little bit of the AC lines over to the side. I mean, nothing really too major. I've had to put a vacuum port, vacuum block on there so we can put map sensor, fuel pressure regulator vacuum, and also the blow-off valve. That actually fits pretty good. I'm hoping that can kind of swoop in from the bottom of the manifold like this, come back around and go back into the 8AN here, and then run the hose up and into the brake booster over there to the side. We do need to get some new sensors in just for the hell of it, just because everything's brand new. There's no reason to not do it. It's got all this beautiful stuff on here. There's no reason to run some old crappy stuff that we have no idea the condition that's been sitting out for a while now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cap all these nitrous ports that are right here in the intake manifold, since we're not gonna be running that right now. Kind of cool that they do that, but I don't like how they haven't put any ports down here on it like our typical manifolds that we run. So it's just made it a little bit more labor intensive for us. I don't know if the throttle cable that I have for the aftermarket manifolds that we run, similar to like on Eddie's car over there, are gonna actually fit on this. So we're gonna go ahead and trial and error this. I'm pretty close. I've already kind of massage everything where I want it. I need to get all the sensors hooked up. We do need to change this attachment over here for sandwich plate he has here because he did JV weld one of them on it. I'm not gonna run that, and not to mention we did hook up the harness now for oil temp as well, so we're gonna need a 3-port and a 2-port. We're gonna change that part out, get the new sensors in it, and then hopefully we can get the intake manifold on. Intercooler piping looks like it's gonna be pretty simple. 3-inch 90 should hook up right on. I just made them brand new turbo lines today, so those are all gonna be good to go. It's looking like it should be going together pretty quickly and pretty easy, so let's get her done. Well, this thing's starting to look more and more and more like a damn race car. Look at that. Wow, it's pretty cool. And all you do is you hit these little quick disconnect buttons, and the whole thing just comes off, and you just clip it back down right in place. That's really cool. So kind of a pain in the butt to install, but that part's done. All right, guys, so a lot of progress. Got the homies here helping out. So you didn't hack off the bracket.
We do it right now.
Anyways, so just so you guys can see all the fuckery that had to get done to go in here, the vacuum block is already all hooked up. We got all the map sensors and everything. We had to do this idle air control valve hose basically to pressurize the vacuum port so we can get all the vacuum lines that we need for brake booster, foot pressure regulator, and blow off valve all hooked up. We got everything fitted. We actually decided that we're gonna flip the throttle body. I don't know why the fuck they made this like this. This is really stupid. It's got rivets in it. We're just gonna hack this thing off, and I'm gonna build them a bracket over here and run the throttle cable we usually run for like the Superstar manifold that we're running on Eddie's car on this, but everything else is good and we're looking really, really good. So I'm gonna bolt the intake manifold on. We're gonna start doing intercooler piping, cutting some holes, and hopefully get this thing started if we're lucky tonight. What up, guys? So it is a new morning, and we were here super late last night. We're gonna be getting everything locked in because Danny's gonna be here on Q's car. We're gonna be getting the car started. There are a few things we're gonna have to get done, like power steering. I went ahead and got a custom line made this morning for him so we could actually get the high pressure line hooked up, get the power steering finished. We need to bleed his clutch. We need to lock in the timing, which is why I have a timing light on this thing. This thing looks so freaking crazy. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and be getting both cars out of here today. They're gonna be going and doing the engine break-ins, and then we're gonna be getting them on dyno, which would be a really, really cool video later on. Yeah, let's go ahead and run through everything real quick. So this is gonna be pretty much finished product. Everything is just looking super, super badass. We already filled everything but the fluids. I didn't really care for the fuel rail setup on this. That fan, bro, is just so annoying. Oh my God. But yeah, anyway, so this fuel rail setup I'm not really a big fan of. The injector's kind of almost seated, almost like not even straight or crooked. It's like pulling on it and shit. I don't really know if I like it or if that's really what I want to do, but it's kind of is what it is. We need to finish wiring up the TPS. I think I have it positioned the right way because it is a different one. I'm gonna have to solder and shrink wrap that on and get all that done. Boost controller needs to be hooked up still. And yeah, I mean, we got the catch can hooked up yesterday, and we got to finish getting the harness up situated. So a lot of work. They're still gonna have to pull this stuff out. They're gonna do a lot of this stuff at home. But yeah, we made a throttle cable bracket up here real quick. We're gonna have to cut this and re-drill it and twist it so it actually sits right. But overall, that's just really, really cool, dude. Really badass. So let's go.
I just sat here and fucking made anecdotes and witticisms while these guys did all the hard work. I love it.
Cool, guys. So Q and Eddie are going to be going home today. Mind my loud fan up. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I'm home now, so I'm gonna go ahead and start editing this thing. Gonna go ahead and relax. So, till next time, guys, peace.